Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson, it's the Kevin Jackson Show, KJRadio.com. You can also get a hold of us at 844-551-8255. And I want to talk, we got a lot to talk about, gun control and all this other crap that's going on with respect to Las Vegas. Trump was called a racist because of his coverage of, support of Puerto Rico. And of course, he's throwing out paper towels or what it was to the crowd. Donald Trump has some funny tactics. He keeps the left talking. I want to talk a little bit about what the left believes is going to happen in 2018. We got a clip from Pelosi. But I've been wanting to talk about this one story, and it's about a groom who saved a child. And I'm going to let you hear the clip in just a second, but the husband and wife are out there taking wedding photos when the groom springs into action and he sees this child who's effectively drowning, and he pulls him out of the water. So here's the clip.
Clayton and Brittany Cook smile as they look at their wedding pictures, remembering not just the wedding, but what happened moments after the photos were taken.
I look over and I see Clay in the water, and I think, what is he doing?
She didn't know at the time Clayton was saving a life.
It was just like fate almost.
The newlyweds had finished saying their I do's. After the ceremony, their photographer, looking for a better backdrop, brought them over to a river at a local park. It was a hot day and children were playing everywhere.
The couple was taking photos on this bridge when they noticed a child in distress in the water. The groom came running over to these rocks where he pulled the young boy out of the water alive.
His face was underwater and he was fighting, he was really fighting. Lucky he was only a little guy, and I could just get him I grabbed him sort of right here, and I just honestly just sort of hucked him up.
Their photographer, Darren Hatt, captured the whole ordeal.
It was a commendable thing that he did, and he sprung into action incredibly quick. Almost as soon as I realized what was going on, he had already saved the day.
That's Clay. That's Clay to me. It doesn't even surprise me that happened. It's something he would just instinctively do.
The boy didn't say a word after Clayton pulled him out of the water, but two children nearby told the couple they pushed the boy in while they were playing.
We had asked them, we were like, where are your parents?
Eventually, the couple says an older sibling took the boy away. They're grateful today they're not telling a different story.
How different would everyone's day would have been if we were in the right place at the right time?
Considering that a good sign as they begin their life together.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. You're listening to the Kevin Jackson Show, and that was a clip from a husband and wife, obviously taking pictures. Husband sees the kid, springs into action, saves the kid. So there's some takeaways from this story. First, the man performed a selfless act, and that's a good thing. He probably ruined his tux in the process. I mean, it's good to have the story. But I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be, petty here. I'm just saying this guy jumps in the water in his tux. Is it rented? Is it his? I don't know. But it may be ruined. And he performs a selfless act. What, is it a few $100s? Is it zero? Is it a dry cleaning bill? Whatever. But he did it. He didn't just reach in and try to grab the kid. He jumps in the water, gets his kid out. You couldn't see the video, but that's what he did. There are pictures of him in the water, in the water getting this kid out. And if you're thinking at this point, no good deed goes unpunished, well, there's more to the story. And this brings me to my second point. The child who was saved is a black kid. I couldn't say he's black, but he's a kid of color. And I'm not sure of what persuasion of color. Was he Mexican, Guatemalan, black, whatever? But he's undoubtedly a minority child. So this white man, you guys didn't know he was white. I'm just telling you that now. This white guy taking his wedding pictures in the park, goes over, looks and goes, holy crap, there's a kid of color drowning. He doesn't go, I'm going to ignore this. I didn't see that. No. He goes in, he springs into action, and he saves a child of color. Which brings me to my next point. Where the heck are the parents? I mean, this is a child playing in the park, And you don't know this except through the video. They tell you that he was playing with other kids, and I'm going to get to that point in just a second. But I'm pretty sure he wasn't completely unsupervised. I don't know whether he had one parent or both parents or whatever, but there are other kids with him. That's how he ended up in the water. So is there a group of kids, or is he just a latchkey? What's the story there? Which brings me to my next point. Friends of the child actually pushed him in the water. Unfortunately for the child, the friends didn't help him get out, or they maybe didn't even want him to get out. I don't know. I suggest this little boy remember this incident as a metaphor for his life. It was two little black kids. They looked like kids of color, but I don't know what color, what persuasion of color. But they're the kids that are with him. And when he gets out of the water, they all scurry away. And they all look like black kids, but I'm being very careful because I don't know. I mean, I'm being honest with you. They look like black kids. So two black kids push another little black kid in the water, do nothing. They don't run for help. They help us, help us, help. The dude just happens to be, they're panning to take a picture, and he goes, whoa, wait a minute, what's this? White guy goes, saves said kids, ruins his tuxedo, his shoes, and everything else, and his wedding pictures, by the way. And they feel good, as they should. They did their civic duty to get these kids, to safety. That particular kid to safety. And this brings me to my final point, and what the reporter said about the child. That he didn't even bother to thank the man for saving his life. The kid gets out of the water and he scurries away. And I couldn't give you a better metaphor for America than this story. You got a white guy who, without any thought, with no intention, with no motive, goes down and he saves a young black kid. And gets the kid out of the water. Now, how did the kid get in trouble? From other blacks, his peers. They don't ask for help. They don't call for help. But the guy sees it. He gets him help at his own cost. I mean, there was no real peril. He was, deeper. He was taller than the water was deep. I don't know. Did he know that? I'm not going to try to get in his head in all that respect, but this is a guy that goes down, saves a black kid, not even thinking about it, not thinking about color, just doing the right thing, because that's what America's about, doing the right thing. And he saves the kid. Kid gets out of the water and he just runs off and doesn't even say thank you. If you want to know why football players take a knee, black football players who believe themselves to be oppressed, and they take a knee, I just gave you the metaphor for exactly why it happens. And by the way, I'm going to prove to you that young black people are exactly what I said on TV and everywhere else, which is these people are being trained to be racist and to hate America and anybody that stands up for America. We got to take a short break. We'll be back in just a bit. Keep it here.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.